Hey, what's up guys? It's Axel here with another video for you, and as you can see on the screen here, we've got a tier list of operators. I've mentioned before that I wanted to do something like this with Ace, but that's never really worked out. So I found a template, I made it myself, and we're going to go over it. So as the rankings are, we have F, which are generally not useful operators. D tier are operators that were good or are good in certain scenarios, and that's it. C tier are like, they're not bad, they're not hard operators to use, but there's just something holding them back. B tier, they're good operators, they're easy to use, they're easy to learn, but they're not super great. A tier operators are pretty top tier, like very high popular operators, in my opinion, obviously. And S tier are just like the grossly overpowered operators. They're highly picked because of their OP status. I'm going to try to get through explaining this as quickly as possible. Please bear with me. Get yourself a nice drink, and let's get right into this. So we'll just start at the bottom, at the F tier. Clash. Clash is frustrating to play with against, I know, because a lot of people don't understand like the way you can counter Clash, because there's certain things that you have to do to get around Clash, and she's kind of annoying, but she's also broken as all hell. And I mean that literally, because she spent most of year 4 not being used because people kept finding glitches to get around her, or to shoot through her shield while still having it up. So due to her abundance of getting glitched out, she's down here at the bottom. Callie's sniper is the biggest problem that I have with Callie. She's not good for short range engagements, which means unless she is literally sitting far away and able to watch the bomb, she's not good. She's fun and casual. She is fun to play in a secure area or a hostage game. But in bomb, in ranked, she's not good. She's just not helpful. Aside from her gadget, and even then, there are ways to get around Callie's gadget with Kaed that you couldn't do with Thatcher. She's supposed to be a Thatcher alternative, and she does do a good job at that. She does do some things that he doesn't with her gadget, you know, breaking castle panels and stuff like that, but other than that, really not great. Amaru, terrible kit. She got a less than spectacular LMG. I almost said SMG. She got a less than spectacular shotgun. Not the worst by any means on either case, but they are less than spectacular. She got a sidearm shotgun, which, good for her, and a SMG-11, so it's like her sidearms are infinitely better than her actual primaries, which doesn't speak well for the character, you know? And, yeah, her gadget is just not good. If you are close enough to hear it coming, you can easily counter her, or you can just stick a frost mat or a castle barricade up and just say fuck you to Amaru. And I think I've only ever seen a person jump through a hatch once with her, and due to how her gadget works, I immediately shotgunned that person down because I was right next to it, and that's not useful at all. So just not good at all. As you notice, D rank has mostly roamers to it, which Oryx has not a great kit. Everything that he is about can be done by better operators. The MP5 is better in the hands of Doc and Rook. The Spaz is better in the hands of Valkyrie. The Bailiff is better in the hands of either one of the Italian operators. And I don't actually remember what his other pistol is. That's how much I'm not invested in orcs. And as for his ability, because he doesn't have a gadget, he has an ability. He hurts himself when he does it to make rotate holes, which can be done by literally any operator with a shotgun or with impact nades. Terrible. Tachanka is fairly obvious. His gadget, less than spectacular right now until he gets reworked. Glaz got nerfed into the fucking ground, so Glaz is just falling off. Blackbeard, aside from being able to, like, negate headshots, has no utility. His guns are not great. He just doesn't bring anything of use to the table. Cav, Vigil, and Pulse. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of shit for this. They're not good for people who aren't experienced with roaming. I would say that I'm not personally a good roamer. I do like Vigil, though. I've done pretty well with Vigil. However, I've sunk a couple hundred hours into this game. You know, if you're just starting out, you're not going to understand the best way to play Cav, the best way to play Vigil, or the best way to play Pulse. And add on to the fact that Pulse has a shitty primary. So his, like, redeeming feature is that he can see people pretty well and nitro sell them. Vigil's gadget is a handicap because it is shit. I'm not gonna lie, Vigil has probably the worst gadget in Siege. Because, okay, you can't live ping Vigil, but you're definitely gonna know where Vigil is, because if he's standing on top of your drone, sure, you can't ping him, but you're gonna see the little white marks over his up his gadget, and you're gonna be able to call out to your team and be like, Vigil is, you know, in supply closet, or Vigil's in bathroom. You don't have to live ping him to be like, hey, and if you call him out and your team takes a gunfight with him and Vigil fires off a few shots, his gadget just stops working. And you can live ping him for everybody. It's, like, moronic. And Cav just gets banned a lot in low tier ranks because people don't want to play with her, so she's like, you know, and in high tier ranks she doesn't get played because nobody wants to play Cav. You know, nobody's gonna worry about an interrogation in high tier. So they're not bad operators, they don't get used in ranked play, in my opinion. Like I said, C tier, I feel like they're not the greatest ops. They're not highly popular, but they're really easy to play. Valkyrie has a good gadget. She's got 3 cameras, very good for intel. She's got a nitro cell, very good. Kind of like Pulse, but a little easier to pick up on. The MPX, dog shit. MPX is a horrible gun. I'm sorry, it just is. Alibi is an okay gadget if you place them right and the enemy team is stupid enough to fall for it. She's got a really good primary in the MX Storm, but she's very underused. I feel like she doesn't get enough love from the community. Castle, very easy to play, very easy gadget to understand, very useful gadget as well. Because I have always, like, talked down on Castle because of how easy he is to counter. And then I started taking it from the perspective of, okay, sure, he's easy to counter, but then people have to take time to burn their utility to deal with a castle barricade. So you have to take time to put a breach charge up and blow it and get through that door. You have to take time to have your sledge come over and open the castle panel. Or thermite will burn a charge on it. Or Thatcher has to burn an EMP to get rid of a mute jammer to stop you from doing or breaching through it. It's a good utility burn. It's a good time burn utility. So Castle, a little more respect for him. He's still not great though. He did recently get the super shorty, making rotates a little easier. That's kind of nice. doesn't make up for the fact that the ump is a dogshit gun. Frost has a slow-firing, high-damage gun, which is okay, but she's got traps that are very, very easy to counter, because you've only got 3. So somebody's either A, gonna shoot it out as soon as they jump in a window, B, throw a grenade on it, or C, not go through your damn window. Like, it's very easy to counter. I feel like Frost could do with a little bit of love. Goyo! I actually love Goyo. He's a 2-speed with 2 very good primaries and explosives. He's got a nitro cell and impact nades. And he has 3 deployable shields. Granted, they explode and, catch shit on fire. But they were good. He recently got nerfed. Double over. His shotgun got nerfed because the shotgun was too overpowered, and he lost a shield because of Pro League. Not because of, general play, but because of Pro League. That kind of annoys me, because he's not played very well, he's not played very popularly in ranked. He's just not. He does not get enough love, I don't feel, so he's, kind of at the bottom here. Yana. Yana's another one that, she's got potential, but boy. She got shafted, in my opinion, when it comes to primary. She got the ARX and the G36C. I feel like she got really shafted on that part. And I feel like her gadget is not utilized properly by a lot of people, because nobody is following Yana drones. I've never come up against a team that used a Yana that had Yana use her Gemini and then somebody else follow in with it. Never. Kapkan, his traps are usually countered by Thatcher and Twitch. He's got a good gun, he's got a nitro cell, very good for stuff. His gadget is good for stopping rushers, but he just underused. Mira. Nitro cell, very good gun in the vector. Her mirrors, yeah, they can be countered by Twitch or just by shooting them out, but I feel like she's just not hugely popular anymore. So, down she comes. Capitao has a good gadget. He's got 2 smokes for planting, if he decides to do that, and he's also got fire for burning out, anchors, burning out clash, but his guns are really low firing. Both of his primaries are low rate of fire guns, not great for being an attacker. IQ, up in B tier, these are really good operators. They're mostly easy to use, bring a good, they bring something good to the table, you know what I'm saying? So, first off, we've got IQ, as I've said. She spots gadgets for your team, so they can shoot them out, so you can warn them, so maybe Thatcher can take them out. Her primaries are all pretty decent. They're not great, but they're decent. She's a 3-speed, so she's got, quickness to get to the objective. She's got quick peeking power, very good operator. Not top tier, but still pretty respectable. Sledge, the L85 is one of the better assault rifles in the game. The SMG-11 secondary, very good. He's got a lot of self-destruction. He opens up floors. He opens up windows, doors, walls, castle barricades. Very good. And unlike his cohort Buck, he's got grenades still. So again, overall, decent operator, not the best though. Like I said, what he can do aside from grenades, Buck kind of, to a degree, does better. And by that I mean environmental destruction, because Buck still can't shotgun open a castle barricade like Sledge can, but, he's still good. We're moving on. We've got Doc. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I see less Doc than I do Rook in ranked matches. Doc has a very good loadout. I feel like I'm gonna put Rook and Doc together for a quick moment because the MP5 is pretty decent. The P90 has a high mag capacity at 50 rounds, so it's still pretty good. They both have ACOGs, so you know, Doc can heal himself and teammates 3 different times. You know, he can self-revive if he gets downed. Rook helps you to take less damage and keeps you from auto-dying to grenades. I feel like Rook gets picked a lot more than Doc. I could be wrong about that. Just bear with me on that. I could be wrong. I'm almost certain that he does, though. Finca. I don't know. I feel like ever since the spear got buffed, I've seen a lot more Finca get used, and she's good for rush strats. She's good for picking up attackers that are down but not out. You know, if you go down from something and no one's around to capitalize, if you've got a Finca, you can get picked up. It's very useful. The spear is now a very decent gun. She also has the Russian LMG, which I feel like is a really good LMG to have. And she's also got the Russian PMM. She can also shotgun rush with the sausage, which is semi-auto. So, yeah, decent operator, in my opinion. Fuse. Fuse does not get enough credit, I feel. Fuse is a big boy, and I understand that. He's a 3-speed, he's slow as shit, he's loud as shit. But he has he can bring breach charges, so he can open his own shit, or he can bring smokes. I play smoke fuse. He's got the LMG, he's got a ballistic shield if you want to play that way. And he's got the best assault rifle in the AK-12. People don't seem to like notice that, but he has got the best assault rifle on the team. He's also got the cluster charge, and I know that a lot of people look at Fuse and his cluster charge and it's like, well, it's like hit or miss if it kills people. But it's good utility clear. You got a lot of barbed wire, you got a lot of bandit stuff, things that are mute jammed, Kaed, shocked. Fuse just cleared all that. Is he a good replacement for Thatcher? Absolutely not. But like, if you can put, you know, a cluster charge above the objective or behind the objective, you can clear out a lot of utility and might get a kill in the process. Like, he's really very good operator. He can clear out a room and then open up a window or a door, get in, smoke, and plant. And then he can hold his own while defending the plant because he's a big meaty operator with a really good assault rifle. He's decently good if you give him the chance. Kaed to an extent does a little better at things than Bandit, but at the same time kind of doesn't. Because, you know, Bandit can be in 4 different places, you know, electrifying stuff, whereas Kaed is just 2 different places with more space. He does get hatches. He can bamboozle a Cali. So he does have those things going for him. I would have had him A tier if his shotgun didn't just get nerfed, but the TCSG has been nerfed. So despite it being a good shotgun and him having the 44 mag, yeah, he's getting dropped down to B. Lion is still a B tier operator in my opinion because he's still a fucking nuisance. He is not as powerful as he once was, but the V308 is a machine of an assault rifle with 50 rounds, a decent rate of fire, an ACOG, and just really is a really good gun. He can still, keep defenders in place because, sure, his gadget's not what it used to be, but you're still not going to run around during a lion scan. You know what I mean? Like, people don't do that. It's just not going to happen. Plus, he's got a claymore to defend himself if he gets snuck up on while trying to burrow people into hiding. It works pretty well. Lesion's along the same lines. Lesion did get nerfed, but at the same time, he's still kind of a pain to deal with. I know I harp on this a lot, that Lesion's not the end of the world, because he's not. Like, you can easily counter Lesion if you have an IQ or a Thatcher or just pay attention. But at the same time, he is annoying. I do get that. He is super annoying to deal with. I don't think he's the most annoying to deal with, but he's super annoying. I feel like the nerf made Lesion more of a lockdown operator now because, okay, you can't see what goo mines are going off unless you're in line of sight of them. So, me as a Lesion player, I will just play in one specific area with all my goo mines and lock down that area. Or try to remember where you put them and use them as a sound cue. You can still hear them get stepped on. So that's the thing. Monty is Monty. Monty will just do to you what Clash does, but Monty's not broken and is a little more useful, He is a good lockout operator, You can push a site, stand at a door, and just keep people from coming in. It's very useful. Or you can plant behind Montaigne. You can use Montaigne as a mobile, shield cover. I've seen people do that. He's pretty good. Mute. Mute's good. Mute has a good kit, I guess. His SMG's not great, but the Mousberg shotgun is one of the better shotguns. He's got the SMG-11. He's got a pretty decent gadget in the Mute Jammer. I feel like he gets overshadowed by Kaed and Bandit for being a hard reach counter, but, he technically still can. And he technically still can do both what Bandit and Kaed does. If you can get Mute's Jammer on an elevated surface, it has a sphere effect. I didn't know that for a while. But yeah, it does. If you can get it on an elevated surface, you can jam a hatch with a Mute Jammer because it's a sphere effect, not an AoE effect. So, he can do that, but I feel like he gets overshadowed a lot. Knock got, bumped up a little bit because now she's in a really good spot. I feel like she's got frag grenades, she's got a little bit of a buff in her gun. I feel like they did Nook really good, made her at least slightly more viable as an operator to use. Is she super great? Is she going to be super popular? Probably not, but they made her better at least. I feel like Smoke is in the same bed with Mute. Of course, Smoke does a different job. He is more for plant denial than he is for intel denial. I don't know. There's just something about Smoke that I feel like could be better. I don't feel like he is 100% a top tier operator. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. Nomad, I feel like Nomad's handicap is her guns. Because the AK and the ARX are two of the worst fucking guns that I've ever seen in Siege. The AK is just a shitty gun in general. I admit that. I prefer it because it has a larger mag size. The ARX has a low mag size. It's better than the AK statistically, but 20 rounds to 40 rounds is like night and day to me. That's just personally, yeah, but I feel like they're both really shit guns. Like, they're just not good ARs to me. The 44 mag is like better than both of her primaries, which is ridiculous. Her gadget is really good for, you know, keeping defenders from running outside, or at least helping you have a chance against getting run out on, and for the plant. If they're running to the plant, they're gonna run, BAM! Get smacked by a air jab, and you call it a day. Gridlock's biggest handicap to me is her being a 3 armor. She's got a good gadget. It's good for, you know, distracting and holding off roamers and people coming to the plant. She's got smoke grenades, so she can cover her plant with her gadget and smoke grenades. Her assault rifle's pretty decent. She's got the side shotty, which is also really good for, you know, opening hatches, opening doors, and whatnot. But she's, you know, she's got the same problem as Fuse, where she's got a good kit, but she's slow. And it just is what it is. Thermite. Thermite is an interesting one. Thermite is, in my opinion, the better hard breach of the three. Because I feel like he's more useful for certain things. I guess maybe him and Habana, like, you know, depending on how you look at things, are pretty... They're both very useful, but he's got a good gun too. He's got not great sidearms. Hey, he's got a claymore, but my biggest concern with Thermite is just how easily he can be countered by Bandit and Kaed and Mute if you're you don't have a Thatcher, he's banned, or somebody just doesn't bring him, or B, your Thatcher doesn't know what he's doing to counter a Bandit trick, which happens quite a bit. So, like, is Thermite good? Yes. Is his gun good? Yes. Is he handicapped by outside circumstances? Yes. Warden is another one that is like Nook, in that he is better now than he used to be. He's got one good primary, one not great primary. His shotgun is good. His MPX, not good. His sidearms are iffy, because the SMG-12 is at best, and I don't think I've ever used the pistol, to be quite honest. That's a personal thing, not really him. And his gadget is now more relevant because I do know there are a handful of people that do smoke plants still. Yang is now being brought more to the forefront with her most recent upgrade. So Warden has become infinitely more viable now due to this new meta. So yeah, there's that. Warden can and will be good. I feel like this new meta that they're trying to force upon us is gonna make Warden actually be a decent operator. So we'll see. We'll see. Wamai is okay. He's got the AUG, which is a good, okay, decent gun. You know, he's got the Caritas sidearm. It's alright. His gadget is good if you look at it from the perspective that he is a good partner for Jaeger. He is not an alternative for Jaeger. Jaeger's gadget blows the magnet out of the water, but the magnet catches things that an ADS will not. Wamai and Jaeger together are insane. So if we think about it like that, and you put them in tandem, Wamai suddenly, from the gadget perspective, becomes this amazing operator. So, you know, I would say he's a decent B tier operator. um, at that rate. Anyway, so the A tier, still top tier, not necessarily overpowered, but they're pretty much like they're teetering. So Sofia's got a good gun. She's got the only pistol. Her and Ella have the only pistol with integrated reflex scopes on them, custom made. Her gadget is slightly annoying. You know, she's got some self-destruction because she does have impact nades in her launcher. And then she's got 2 concussion mines that are not as good as her sisters, but fuck, are they annoying. The Gersmots are the most ridiculous gadget this game has ever, like, had. But again, not as, like, Ella's version of it is infinitely more annoying than Sofia's. Jackal. So, I hear a lot that Jackal is not as good as Jackal used to be. And to be fair, he's not. However, Jackal can still track you. Jackal can still make your HUD yell at you and say, "You are being Jackal tracked." He's losing his shotgun, but he has 2 great primaries. In the C7E, which is one of the best assault rifles. I think it's the 2nd best assault rifle, next to Fuse's AK-12. At the PDW. The PDW is an underrated SMG, in my opinion. The C7E, as I said, is, I could be wrong about that. I'm fairly certain it is the 2nd best assault rifle in the game. I could be wrong about that, though. And if I'm right, you have to think that Jackal is a 2-speed. So, you know, he's already got the edge there on Fuse, technically. But he's not a 3-speed. And he doesn't, you know, stand at 5 foot tall and doesn't have the world's smallest hitbox. So, but we'll get to that later. Bandit. I kind of touched on this with Kayed. You know, Bandit's got 4 batteries. He can, you know, hard deny walls. And he can also put his on barbed wire and shields. Kayed can do that too, granted. But, like I said, Kayed having the AoE effect and having 2 gadgets, whereas, you know, Bandit can electrify 4 barbed wires or whatever, or 2 barbed wires and 2 walls or whatever it may be in different locations without having to be in the same area of each other. And the fact that he has the better SMG in the MP7 kind of gives him the edge to me. Blitz. Blitz is a monster of a freight train of an operator. You know, he's got 4 built-in flashbangs. He is a 2-speed. And yes, I know he's got a half shield. But in the hands of the right operator, he can be, like, very, very useful to play against. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very easy to make Blitz into a monster if you take the time to learn how to play him. Buck, I touched on this with Sledge. Buck does what Sledge does slightly better. I would say, up until recently, he definitely was like infinitely better because he had grenades. I still feel like, you know, he opens floors and walls and stuff a lot better than Sledge does. You know, he can't open castle panels, and he doesn't have grenades anymore, but I still feel like Sledge is slightly inferior to, Sledge is slightly inferior to Buck. Sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. I apologize for that. Togepi. Togepi is... Togepi's an interesting one, because I feel like, okay, her guns are not that great. The Boss G is a big fat meme. We all know that. Ha ha ha. ACOG on the Boss G. And the DMR is kind of... And her sidearms, both the SMG-12 and the C-75, are kind of like hit or miss on how good they are. However, she has a global gadget, which is only countered by standing on a mute jammer. Like, that's kinda not great. And I'm not the only person who thinks that. It's kind of annoying, because then she can track you wherever you are, anywhere on the map, if you're not standing on a mute jammer. So that is just kind of to me. So yes, her gadget is what does it for me. Sorry, it's like almost 40 minutes in and I'm kind of struggling with my voice here. Maestro's got 2 nearly indestructible cameras unless they get sledged, grenaded, Ashe charged, Sofia impacted, Kali charged, whatever. Good for intel. They can also zap you, they can kill you, that is a thing, you can die to them. They can see through smoke grenades, which is like really, really good. And he's got, as I like to call it, the fire hose, which is his Alda LMG. You know, it's an 81 round mag LMG. It will tear through pretty much everybody. Like, there are no questions asked. That gun is going to tear people apart. So, there's that. Echo has the better version of the MP5. It's got an ACOG, it's got an integrated suppressor, so it's silent and doesn't lose its damage count for being suppressed because it's integrated. And he's got 2 drones, which stun you and can deny plants. That's really annoying. Mazi's got the assault rifle, which is really good. He's got a nitro cell, good for blowing you up. He steals your drones. He doesn't just stop them and shoot them. No, he steals your drones and uses them against you, which is really good for counter intel. You know, like, he gets paired with mute a lot. They're a really annoying duo to go up against. And he's just really good even without the super shorty, but I feel like he should not have lost the super shorty. That's just my opinion, however, in the matter. At Twitch is just annoying because, like, you know, she's got the FAMAS. The FAMAS is a pretty decent gun still, if you can figure out what you're doing with it. The drones destroy your gadgets, and if you really want to be a dick, you can zap somebody with it just to be an obnoxious person. Still kind of annoying to deal with. Ashe. Ashe's got the R4C, one of the best ARs just out there on the planet, and she's a 3-speed, so she peeks you with the like one of the best assault rifles in the game, peeks you at the speed of sound, and has basically like a non-existent hitbox. Like, it's a very small hitbox because she's got a very small character model, which is super annoying. Ying, do I really need to say it? She's got 4 candelas that have been reworked that now blast 7 pellets into the room at a full charge, and then just blinds you. And she's got 4 of them and an LMG to spray you with after the fact. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Ella's Gerspots have been overpowered since day one, regardless of how much they may have nerfed her her guns into the ground. Her gadget is retardedly overpowered. You know, it stops you from being able to control yourself correctly, to readjust, and she can just swing on you. Jaeger recently got a big old fat nerf, bringing him down to 2-speed 2 armor, but it's almost unnoticeable, and it kind of helped him a little bit to be tankier when it comes to having gunfights, because, you know, he's not a flimsy 1-speed or 1 armor anymore. So, you know, he can take gunfights a little better. You know, he's still 2-speed, so he still gets around pretty well, and he's still got a really good gun. Also, his gadget's still pretty good, you know. It still catches grenades, candelas, all that stuff, you know, unless Thatcher hits you from the other side of a wall or Fuse shows up. It's really hard to counter a Jaeger ADS. Maverick is just annoying. Like, just the blowtorch hole shooting you in the back when you're not looking. It's just super annoying, and he's got really good guns to shoot you with. The M4 and the AR are good guns. I mean, I don't like complimenting Maverick because he's just the stupidest operator ever, but yeah. Thatcher's got the L85, which is a good gun. You know, he doesn't have the SMG-11, which, you know, rest in peace all you Thatcher mains out there. But he's got 3 EMP grenades that wipes out pretty much all gadgets, and if he doesn't, you know, outright wipe them out, you know, he stops them from working, even briefly. So, you know, and it's got a crazy area of effect. So, you know, what more needs to be said about that? And Hibana, she does what Thermite does, but she can make windows, she can blow hatches better, she's got a better gun, and she's more mobile. And she's, you know, tiny, so it's hard to hit her. You know, what more needs to be said about that? And, yeah, there's that. That's all I can say about that. I'm sorry that I kind of rushed through the last bit there, but, you know, we're going on 45 minutes for a video, and I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk about it. But, I would be interested in some of your opinions. If you, you know, if you agree with something, disagree with something, leave it in the comments. Let me know. I would love to hear your opinions about, like, who do you think is, like, super overpowered or super underpowered, or, you know, who did I put in a certain spot that you thought should be somewhere else? Just let me know. And for now, I hope you liked the video. I hope you'll subscribe if you're new. I hope to hear from you in the comments, and I hope you'll come back, because I have another video lined up very soon dealing with the maps of Siege. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you at a later date. Good night, all.